the world champion in Age of Empires 2, Hera.
Like it's completely over.
In 101, despite being a complete beginner. Here's the game. How? Kakashi Hatake. Okay. And in red we got the word copying. Me. So this really can only go one way, right? See, I'm trash at games, but there's one idiot-proof strategy, right? And that's copying the best. That's how we all learn, too, right? We copy nature as kids and stuff. Learning base, maybe copy Davey 404, make money with stonks, Warren Buffett. You want to have a crypto, you make a BitGet account and click on copy, and then it copies the portfolio of some pro and you don't even do anything. Is that even copying? At that point it's automatic. But first things first. So Hera just broke the world record for Edo, the ranked point system. Of course both players are absolute pros, so there's really nothing to add to their dark age. Best players, if not the best player. I mean, Viper might claim the title too. Hoang, however, doesn't really fit that bill. Still, he's perfect. Because Hoang is a Vietnamese player who's infamous for doing one thing over and over and over and doing it extremely well. I'm talking execution. There's strategists like Red Phosphor and whatnot, but when it comes to doing the same thing as well as possible, the classic Hoang is, well, Hoang. Hoang in your face. Like the Bruce Lee say, fear the one that practices the same kick 10k times, right? So back to Kakashi. The trick was one-on-one copying. For BitGet, you click sign up, deposit, then take your pick. Not so easy for Age of Empires 2. But the concept is straightforward, right? So lure Hera into a false sense of security, and then bulldoze him with the most all-in rush possible, which is the Hoang rush, of course. Obviously, Hera would crush me easily in a regular 1-on-1, and even if I tried to exactly copy Hoang's strategy, the build orders and all, the execution is hard as hell. This isn't something you can just easily pull off, but even if. Hoang does this thousands of times, and there's still plenty of things to improve upon. So I had to set the stage first, and of course get Hoang on my side. So Hera offers coachings for players looking to improve. That was gonna be my way in. I bought myself an Steam account with a few games under the belt, as to not raise suspicion. Brand new account, all empty, kind of obvious, right? Then I had a regular coaching session with him. I just tried my best, concealed that I never played the game before at all, and avoid to raise suspicion. Of course I did a few practice games before, but you know what I mean. And then I had a regular coaching with him. That was all. Then I let a month pass. To be honest, I was kind of busy too. Tried to get in touch with other pros. I actually want to expand the challenge, do it with more people, but I only got Hera. And while I knew about Hoang, I found him, he didn't respond either initially. But nobody had easily findable, nobody's contact information was out there directly. And the ones that I could find didn't respond. Not Tina Angie, not Viper, MBL, nobody. Well, MBL was a bit more buried, but anyway, this wasn't BitGet, right? Where like the crypto thing, where you just kind of sign up, click on the list, and then room, and you just click the button. And ironically, Hoang, who arguably has the most minimal setup of all, speaks virtually no English, and his entire online presence is him streaming himself gaming on Twitch with no commentary because he doesn't speak English, laser focus. So I found it quite amusing that was him to actually get back to me via email. Of all the people, the one dude who speaks no English, somewhere in Vietnam with no setup, no website, his YouTube, pretty much everything is set on default and it's just uploads with no descriptions and whatnot, but he has his email on his YouTube, all I needed. And he actually responded very quick. So I told him, would you be down for this? And he was more than happy. He loves the challenge. Just like BitGet with the copybot, you have zero thought process, no talk or anything. You have 1% strategy. Because, let's be honest, Hoang has done this strategy a billion times, over and over and over. There is nothing new there. He's not changing anything. Right before the game, I actually threw in a bonus too. I was like, Hoang, if you win, like you get paid for the effort. You get paid if you win, and if you know what, if you win, actually let me double that. Like I jumped it up. So I scheduled the coaching session again with Hera, and the first game was like during the first time he coached me. I would just play a regular 1-on-1, try to follow his pointers, and just kind of play the game, right? And then, whoopsie daisy, my internet, oh no, I have to restart. That's kind of the excuse, right? In reality, I kept the call with Hera on Discord running, so we would just be talking. We would still be talking, and was restarting my game. In reality, Hoang was logging in, right? I mean, hundreds of dollars is not nothing to, I guess, nobody, but if you're Vietnamese, that's a monthly salary, basically. So this is a little bit of serious money for him on the line, and Hoang, he was gonna do his best anyways, but that really put the pressure on. I was a bit afraid if that actually ruins it a bit, but come on, gotta get some fire up. And then for Hera, I was like, okay, if Hera wins, I'm gonna surprise him as well. But yeah. I also messaged some more pros. I wanted to do more of these kind of secret challenges. Unfortunately, unless you're in the scene, it's damn hard to reach them. And I do not have the time to log in every day and send follow-up messages and go on this and whatnot. So like, if you see this and you really like this kind of content, if you think this is a cool idea, I have a bunch more ideas. For example, the Pokemon challenge where we take 2 pros, like Hera or Viper, and they in turn are assigned a random 1k or 1.5k elo or something like that. And then, just like with coaching, they have to direct the players like you direct a Pokemon, but they don't actually play themselves. There was actually a couple like that, I believe. Like a whole bunch of ideas like that. But I do like the kind of a bit more prankish stuff too. I'd love to see if Hera can defeat a 1k noob with his feet, using his feet to control the mouse and the keyboard, or some random stuff like that. Or he has to play upside down, like in a handstand or something. Anyways, let's get to the game. It's insane. Of course, he's gonna sell off Stone and with the market. And here's Hera already coming in with a bunch of scouts, very quick, very quick. And he actually told me during the call too that he thinks I could still defend. Like, this is still something that even a noob could do, given enough practice. Now, noobs today, quote-unquote noobs, or beginners, are fairly good at the game. They have even around 10k elo, 1k elo, they're pretty good with the basics, that is. So like a strong Dark Age and like having a couple Spearmen ready, that's doable. So at this point, he was still not really suspecting that this isn't me. Now we have all these villagers at the gold exposed. I don't know why Hera didn't go for them. I guess he really wanted to stay away from the Spearmen. Didn't actually get kill here. It is surprising, but it is one. He's used to making most damage. Already scouting. His scout quite hurt a bit too. And yeah, actually I reached out to T92 by the way. I wanted him to cast this, but no response, sadly. So yeah, we lured Hera into the perfect false sense of security here. He actually puts his scout aside for a second, strategizing. So on his side, we have all these farms set up. Beautiful economy, bit of a wall build up, you know, very strong basic support. Meanwhile, on one side, we have like one farm, literally one farm. No more villagers coming in at this point already. We have freaking straggler tree. Sorry for this not being capture age. This Windows laptop by Boar just can't handle it. It's just too slow. It has 12 gigabytes of RAM, but just laggy as hell. Capture age isn't doing it. Here the spearman is just keeping him off. And notice the villager. You might think, okay, the villager is joining by accident or something. Maybe, you know, selected as well. So even with the villager forward, but when he sees the second villager forward, he's getting very suspicious. The scout here for Hoang, very suspicious. But the deciding moment was this, when I hit Castle Age.
I mean, I have no idea, honestly. I'm getting like Sito vibes, but I don't know if it's Sito. No. I don't think that. Maybe Winchester? But how did you... Is it Hoang? No way, right? Yeah.
But he had some lag issues.
How did you get Hoang to agree to this? That's what I thought until you came forward with 2 villagers and like protected them. It was like too much.
Also where I'm revealing it to Hera, and it make you guess and which pro you think it is. Already got knights in the field. This is one of the, I think, most classic things known about Hoang, the classic Hoang rush. With the twist, of course, that this is Franks, but we had to do Franks because if I used another Sith, it would have been too obvious. In the very beginning, when I strategized this whole thing about the fake identity bait switch, I was considering doing Kells, but it just seemed too obvious. Same as Saracens. Something like Franks, a beginner-friendly Sith, was just seemed so perfect for this. And look at this, he's already just rolling on, Scorpion keeping his entire woodline off, Hera is scrambling. This is not what he signed up for. This is already 3 knights, Spearman still, Villager, but it's still Hera, right? So Hera already caught up to the Castle Age. Unlike Hoang, didn't have to abuse the market that heavily, so he actually has an economy. Sure, his woodline is... well, there is no woodline now, but other than that, right? So there's no counterattack right now from Hera, because there's no army, but he's already catching up. Now, unlike the usual Celt Rush, in this case, there is technically bloodlines for Hoang. Not really, but the bonus of Franks. So it's a bit different, but his siege is weaker. Arguably on this map, he gets a bit out of it being Franks. He also didn't make any militia, probably because of a lack of infantry bonus. Speed. Has a few farms up, but it's basically, if you look at his base, everything's pretty much walled in, technically. Like, 1 or 2 quick walls, he's covered. Back in the action, a ram. Lost one of the Scorpions, other Scorpion, like, he's building a monastery, he's walling in his villager. This is as all in as it gets, but also so in the face. This is textbook Hoang, no doubt. Already gonna get some monks in the field now. Sadly losing the ram here, but did open the hole. Yeah, his villagers are scrambling, but even if Hoang gets quite a lot of kills here, this doesn't change the fact that this is his economy. This is it. Couple farms, but this is typical Hoang, and he has a lot of gold to dispose of to use, so he can just use the market to kind of balance it out. There's also this Dead Scout still, basically Dead Scout. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 knights and 4 spearmen against 4 other. Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess, and. You know, you'd think the siege workshop here, but typical Hoang, another siege workshop. Hoang will make as many siege jobs as it takes. He will eat that TC with 10 siege workshops if he has to. Like, this siege workshop is, you'd think, pretty close, but gotta be right next to the woodline, gotta be close to the TC, another siege it is. And here we got knights and spearline on one side, and then monks and siege on the other side. Now Hera is using every break he can get to breathe, to get a bit of use up the gold, quick walls, defend, perfect instant quick wall right here. Viper be proud. We have the woodline back to the board. We have the farms for the most part running. Eco seems alright. And then we have 2 monks pop out at the same time as the Mangonel and reunite with spearmen and knights. More spearmen coming all the way from the base. You can see how it's all coming together. I mean, he's scraping every little bit of resource he has. There is just no economy, but the timing and execution is just perfect. Having everything at the right place, at the right time, that's what Hoang really practices. However, it's still Hera. So we have these million of knights. Snap the Mangonel, no conversions. Actually gets in range here. Kind of a little bit rare for Hoang to make these kind of mistakes multiple times in a row as he almost loses his Mangonel. Never mind.
It's still like playable for him, like it's completely over.
And here is probably where a lot of people would, maybe even Hoang would use it call. He gets his army everything squeezed in and basically gets wiped. But here's money on the line. This is a special game. So he's not gonna quit, and he's gonna try to get the most out of this trade. It's not a very good one for him, because even though he does trade for him back a bit, this is still his economy. The woodline is getting thinner and thinner, farms are breaking up, few that he has, his gold line is inefficient, you can see villagers being stuck and whatnot, he's scrambling to even just get a now pikeman on the field, and he is accumulating a few monks, but his second siege workshop, under 5. Here goes the villager, really not looking good for Hoang whatsoever. As if that wasn't enough, we have, okay, funny, fair enough, we have Oh man, the pathing. They really need to reduce block size. What was it called? Not friction. Whatever. Red Phosphorus did come up with a trick with the stance, where you do the no attack stance, and then the, I'll call it friction, I forgot the word, gets reduced to basically 0 and you can pass units. And look at the timing again. Just out and boom. But, you know, Hera, it's Hera. He'll use villagers, he'll fight back with everything. If it comes to very well-rounded players, people like Viper and Hera will definitely come to mind. They're not thrown off easily, even by one. If there's one to throw them off, then it's definitely a surprise one. The trades are real. The Frank bonuses do help, and pikemen certainly thin down the numbers. But Lithuanian cavalry is no joke. And the few couple pikemen that one can scramble with his wacky economy is not gonna do the trick here. Random villagers from Hoangs. You can even see these. It's very micro intensive, and even all the practice that Hoang has doesn't cut out all the mistakes. You can always do that. My god. It is just not looking good. I mean, sure, the pikemans will keep any cavalry at bay. So as far as that is concerned, Hoang is quote-unquote safe. Because that's a lot of pikemen. But he has nothing else. And cavalry is mobile. Now, usually that would just lead to Hera counterattacking, and that would be it for the opponent. But in this case, it's Hoang. He has barely no economy, which also means there's not much economy to lose, and it's easy to defend. His base is walled in without wall, kind of, because he doesn't need any other walls besides this little bit here. Still, Hera does get in, and there goes the first villager, and oh boy, it is a bloodbath. Here comes the next villager kill. Pikemen do keep him on the run, so the damage is minimized to a little bit of idle and 2 villagers dead, but it's not looking good. Meanwhile, Hera's pikemen did return, 1 knight did make it through, and here's a new mangonel, so we are on the counter attack, I guess. And the amount of pikemen that have come from this faraway barracks and made their way over is not to be underestimated. Now we got 3 monks accumulated. This really is patience. Hoang's unique form of patience. He does not stop yelling. There's no, I'm gonna catch up with economy or something. Not in this game, at least. Certainly not. Hoang did adjust his strategies, and on the rank ladder, he will sometimes even go for a somewhat balanced regular economy now, which you believe it. But this game is no such game. He has legit 2 rows of pikemen. This is bloody. And even though it took 30 minutes, an eternity in Hoang time, TC is being eaten. And it almost looks like this could be it. As in a comeback. But Hera's economy has been running for a long time. And this is still Hoang's economy. Now he did start adding a few villagers, kind of also to make up for the losses. But my god, this is Hera's ahead by a lot. Not just in sport. That can be misleading. Now the TC is falling, but this is Hera. It's not gonna be bottom that much. He'll play without TC if he has to. He knows he has plenty of villagers. No need to buy that. Build them for a while. Well, maybe they're bought. You don't build humans, but let's see. The healing from the monks on the pikemen who keep running into the TC. You'd think, oh no, well, why does he keep running into the TC? Why doesn't he change his stance or anything? He actually makes it easier on himself. And now the knights, oh my god. The gold line is off. The knights find their targets. In return, Mangonel's monks are having a hard time, but conversions are real. It takes but one single conversion of a knight for a monk to be more than worth it. And here comes the emergency counter villagers and nothing else. Love that. One couldn't ask for a better quote-unquote counter-attack. Meanwhile, however, in one space, we have a counter-attack of Hera's own. And a castle in the face. Though, arguably not the best castle. It doesn't really reach that much. Now, of course, it blocks the barracks, but there is not really much of a wood line to prevent the destroyer anymore. Gold line isn't touched by the capsule, and yeah. This is it as far as Hera's base goes. This TC is gone, and the villagers don't really have anywhere to run to anymore, so they might as well just get some damage if they can. Final shot, the Mangonel does take down the TC. Counterattack from Hera is now on its last legs, doesn't really find any damage. Actually, will the TC... Yeah, no, it's not happening. And there we go. Hoangs basically wiped Hera's base. Hera still has a wood line, but that's all of his economy now. Funny enough, Hoang doesn't even have that. You'd think this is the weakest economy you could possibly have. A bunch of strangling villagers at the edge of the map. But this is Hoang's economy. The freaking straggler trees, the leftover farms. Well, Hoang looking for more damage. Now a castle isn't something Hoang's gonna take down. Not with that army, not with that tech, not with that economy. Economy, of course, in quotes. Now, let's switch sides to me for a second. Oh, actually, sorry. Ah, there we go. Feudal? Is that Feudal? Alright, this is Hoang's view. As you can see, he did not spot the economy in the south. He's actually using a monk to scout now. Let's get that off. And he has not seen the farms or the woodline yet. Is he seeing it now, actually? Almost. The villager base rush by Hera. Meanwhile, Hoang a new economy here in the north. Yeah, just now the monk spotted it. Instantly gets a conversion on a villager. Take what you can get, I guess. And now we have a huge economy lead for Hoang, who actually starts to build farms, gets a new wood line up, and Hera's left with nothing else but whatever he has at the back of his base and this gold over here. And this is Hera, and he doesn't win. Now he did say he'll probably just leave it at some point, but I do feel he had some pride in this. Like, he did want to kind of flip it around. But it's very good sportsmanship by Hera, of course, because this wasn't paid coaching. There was no reason to hang on and on and on. Like, you pay for time, not for games. So he's really nice in that way as well. Now we have lattices on the field, which is basically all that Hera can build now. I mean, technically he has his base buildings, but far away, very far away. And that's it. That's Hera's economy now. If you're asking what economy, exactly. These miners over here. If all you have left in your economy is miners, oh boy, let's not go there. Definitely a lot of material for Family Guy or South Park maybe. It's just nothing, it's empty. I love how Hoang doesn't even try to clear out the base. Like, it's clear that doesn't matter. He's pulled this thing off, and now it's on for Hoang to be on the defense. I mean, he kills what he can get. He definitely wants to finish Hera off. But he's on his guard. He is not going to throw this game. It's very clear. See how he splits off individual pikemen, and this is not really the kind of approach of Hoang normally. Hoang is more of like a huge death ball in your face. He does split up his army, it's Mangonels and the rest. Actually, knights charging lattices. Yeah, this is not looking good. Hera's economy now, how many villages is that? 8? 8 villagers? Yep, 8 villagers for Hera. Meanwhile, on Hoang's side, we have like 10, some 20. And these, yeah, like 3 times the economy, 24 or 5 something. Hera trying to find, I guess, some siege or whatever, just kind of skirping around the base, the map actually. And here comes the second TC from Hoang. Clearly showing, like, I'm not throwing this game, that's his mind. Like, he's just gonna build up economy and army. And look how misleading the score is here. Hera actually in the score lead. Hera has nothing. This is seriously a stage of the game where I don't want to go too far. I feel like, because this is Hera, something like a 1 or 1.5k Elo player could still throw it. But around the 1.5k mark is definitely where I would say, even if it's Hera, this is just too much of a handicap. I don't really see any way for Hera to come back from this. But it is Hera, and you never know with him. If this game drags out long enough, who knows? Maybe Hoang gets a disconnection, a major lag, sends his whole army under the castle, I don't know. Now the placement of the castle, I'm really not happy with that. Now I know before it was a bit more blocked, and there was a sense of urgency, and certainly Hera didn't have the means to put it in one space. If he somehow could, of course, it would be very different. If this castle had been in the face of Hoangs at the time, completely broken the economy. But yeah, this... Even that, like... So the TC goes down, what? So what? Hoang would probably just put a mill in the back and just kind of work around it. It's not like he was really producing a lot of villagers. Didn't bother with relics. I mean, Hera probably can't even. And funny enough, his villagers made it all the way back to the old farms. But his army is scouting a couple latest. At this point, they're also all so hurt that even villagers could probably fight back to some degree. There's just really not much left. As we watch the final stages of this, I guess the question is, at what point was this over? In the very beginning, almost completely blocked Boar. But then, when the siege, the knights, the monk, everything came together somewhere on the right side, around where the gold second siege workshop from was, where everything came together at the same time, I feel that was the moment that things really turned a bit. Even though the fight technically went into Hera's hands, especially with the better economy, you could feel the momentum. Sometimes Hoang just has momentum. No resources, not even army, but you can just feel the momentum. It doesn't matter who his opponent is. It can be the best player in the world, it can be random dude on Elo ranking, hunting, whatever. And Hera calls the GG. And I officially beat the world champion. Of course, Hoang beat the world champion. I was very happy with this result. Quite frankly, I did not think that Hoang would pull it off after I saw his army get wiped. But in the very beginning, before, like at the very start of the game, I was fairly sure that it's going to be a total win or loss for either. It's not going to be too much of a dragged out game. Either Hera's just immediately going to catch on and block the Hoang, kind of classic Hoang that he's very familiar with, or maybe Hoang just can't do it as Franks, or he's just going to be completely surprised and get steamrolled very quickly. None of these happened. Instead, Hoang dragged the game on and on. Both of them, actually. And this is the final result. We have a bunch of random knights from Hoang looking around the map to make sure there is no hidden economy, no comeback or anything. Because, again, we have a high score for Hera, which is probably just a castle and the military. There's a little bit of villagers left. There's no TC, there's nothing. There's no way. I mean, sure, there's no way for Hoang to destroy the castle right now, but look at this economy he's building up. Like, this... What could he possibly do at this point? Unless another player joins the map, that's roughly it. That's basically it. If you could sign up for that stuff, would help out a lot. I'll put the extremely complicated instructions right below. And we'll look forward to the next showcase. Hopefully get in touch with T90 and all of the others, and we can make some crazy stunts. You can comment below if you have any great ideas. And anything's on the table. No need for the casual stuff. Maybe we can have the Hera playing with feet part.